The similarities between Jaws 1975 and Nope are several. It ends begin even more surprising that they are half a decade apart. From the framing shots, dialogues, and situations between the characters, combining a function between terror, horror, and both generating suspense and fears in the viewers, this essay breaks down elements that both of the films use in a revolutionary way.
The setting of coastal town in North could echo the isolation present in Jaws, as both films explore the difficulty of characters in the face of an unknown threat. The horse ranch in Nope becomes an isolated space similar to the open sea, increasing the tension and fear. Also, another example about when we see a man against supernatural forces. The primal fear of the unknown from Jaws could be integrated with the supernatural element of Nope. The unknown situation in the sky may represent a force of nature beyond human understanding, drawing connection to the constant shore in Jaws. Both films explore how humanity struggles with the attempts to survive in the face of particularly unstoppable forces. However, both films may explore family dynamics in the context of fear. The man and his sister in Noob could negative their relationship while facing the supernatural threat, echoing the biological bonds seen in Jaws. The fear and danger could serve as a catalyst for character development and exploration of a family resilience. Also, there is a great point to mention about both movies that each one of them around half a decade apart. Therefore, we can see that both movies begin as a kid's prank into a scam that tricked both the actors and the protagonist.
For instance, comparing the gender elements of Jaws and Nope reveals that Nope employed camera techniques to confuse the audience, whereas Jaws used a variety of framing strategies such as Dutch angle to produce a horror and science fiction film. In terms of lighting, Nope used a dark, warm colored light to create a sense of suspense and mystery, while Jaws used natural light to create a sense of the real world. Sound is employed in both movies to indicate the monster's presence and create tension as it is shown in the short clips. Whereas the sound in Jaws is a suspenseful sound approaching, being the symbol for this movie, in Nope it's the distant screams of people suffering that could easily be mistaken for amusement park sounds. Another key element is silence, which is the most effective sound in the horror genre since it manipulates the audience emotions and plays with their mind. Now, the sound of the water, bubbles, and the metal moving in the cage are all easily discernible ambient sounds in Jaws, drawing the audience attention, as it is shown in this example that the sound is amplified when a louder action happens, because the shark impacts the cage in the movie, creating a scary scene. Also, the color papers at the start of the scene, the air, the people screaming, and the sound of the monster each time emerge from the cloud are all part of No's primary emblem. And since all happens at the same time, it creates an odd experience. Finally, while the dialogue in Nope is deep, combining societal commentary with horror, it is snappy in Jaws and plays a role in the character development.
It is very common to assume that terror and horror are the same, although they coexist together in the realm of the unknown. These concepts can be apart from each other while developing a delightful fear essential for films from this genre, as director Jordan Peele mentioned in an interview in 2022 during the release of No. It is the Jaws rule. While stating his preference from the terror mechanics he has been navigating as director in his 3 future films so far, expectations that can be used as terror devices is something that Jaws and Nope master in their own ways. Jaws was very revolutionary for its time in many means, however, Nope disrupts several conceptions that even Jaws' legacy conceived. Beyond the technology achievements gathered in almost half a century, Peele's now follows Spielberg's circumstantial formula of hiding the horror to enhance the terror sense. Furthermore, Peele adapts the sharp prank scene to trick not only the character but even the audience who went to watch just another alien invasion movie. Even if both scenes started with a prank and ended up with a victim, they are set in very opposite ways. For instance, Jaws sets a chaotic scenes with hysterical reactions and lots of shots from different angles. Nope, on the other hand, puts a very calm scene with not too many movements, using many genre conventions to mislead the suspense reaction. They both share the use of mostly diegetic sound during the prank. However, Jaws increased the use of non-diegetic sound to shine in his emblematic score. Nope instead used merely to mislead and keep a mood that will increase as the horror will be revealed later on. Peele's films have stated something quite different to the horror genre. In this particular case, his social commentary on the spectacle as itself is based on the first blockbuster ever, reimagining the very saucer concept, likewise a monster concealed in the skies, based on another monster hiding in the sea,